Hello friends. In the recent past, we have seen the increasing usage of the term big data, and this term is used in conjunction with other terms like machine learning and artificial intelligence. With the increasing usage of smartphones, there is a huge amount of data which is being dumped in by the users, particularly relating to their activities, their photos, their environment, their friends, etc. Now, do you realize that this data which is being dumped is collected somewhere and someone is out there processing this data for certain specific purposes? Now, this data is what we refer to as big data. Now, in this short video, my objective is to introduce you to the concept of big data, right? So, without any further delay, let us see what this big data is all about. Let's begin. So what exactly is meant by big data? Big data refers to extremely large data sets that may be analyzed computationally to reveal patterns, trends and associations, especially relating to human behavior and interaction. The concept of big data essentially involves four distinct processes. 1. Collection of data, which can be from videos you upload on YouTube or social media, audio uploads, comments on social media posts, point of sale devices, security camera feeds, traffic camera feeds, and a whole lot of them. 2. Collecting data is one thing, but the more important thing is that this huge amount of data has to be stored somewhere. So here comes the role of data farms, which provide huge server space for storing data. 3. The data stored is then processed and analyzed to study patterns and trends. And finally, the fourth step, the patterns and trends that emerge is then used as a tool for taking a whole lot of decisions. So essentially, if we were to summarize this, we can say that big data comprises of four steps: collection of data, storing of data, processing of data, and finally, using the data processed as a tool for decision making. Before we go any further, we have to understand the three V's of big data. The first V is volume. Organizations collect data from various sources and in huge volume, running into terabytes, petabytes and zettabytes. For instance, an airline company could be collecting data from check-in points, baggage identification, sensors located in the fuel tank of the aircraft, the weather conditions, just to name a few. The second V is velocity. That is the speed at which the data comes in. The increased usage of smart devices coupled with the ease of access to internet has resulted in a huge influx of data, and that too at insane speeds. So just storing and analyzing data is not important. It has to be done in a timely manner because the data is coming in at such a velocity that there is a chance that if you don't take action fast, the data might become obsolete. The third V is variety. We have seen that data comes in at huge volumes and at high speeds, but we also need to consider the fact that data comes in various forms: video, audio, email, barcodes, alphabetical, numerical, alphanumerical, and so on. Now, when we talk about big data, we have to consider all these three V's into the picture. 1. The volume of data that is coming in. 2. The velocity with which it is coming in. And 3. The variety in which it is coming in. To get an idea of the volume and variety of data that we are talking about, let us consider some example. The New York Stock Exchange generates 1 terabyte of data every day. Facebook gets loaded with 500 plus terabyte of data in various forms every day. And a jet aircraft generates 10 plus terabytes of data in 30 minutes of flight. Now imagine a transatlantic flight of an average of say 15 hours and we are talking about 300 terabytes of data per flight. Just imagine the number of flights operating worldwide on a daily basis and your head will go dizzy with the numbers. So this is how big a volume of data that is generated every day. Of course, we have only considered three things here. We are not even talking about YouTube, Google, transport, shipping, and God knows what. The complexity of the issue gets compounded by the fact that not only is data coming in at huge volumes and at high velocity, it is also coming in different forms. Essentially, we have three broad categories in which data comes in. 1. Structured data. Here the data is uniform and structured, like employee database of, say, Walmart. 2. Unstructured data. The data comes in various forms like audio, video, comments, posts, photos, etc. And lastly, it could be semi-structured like emails or files in CSV formats and so on. So now you can get an overall idea that in big data, we are dealing with data which is coming in huge volumes at great velocity and in a variety of forms, that is structured, unstructured and semi-structured. The aim of big data is to collect, store and analyze the data with a view to improve operations, provide better customer service, create personalized and targeted marketing campaign and thereby create a competitive edge. Some of the sectors which are using big data to their advantage are education sector, insurance, banking, aviation, transportation and logistics, marketing, healthcare, media and entertainment, just to name a few. Let's try to understand how some of these industries are using big data to their advantage. Let us take the education sector. Now you might be wondering, how on earth is education sector involved in all this? Well, you might be surprised. Because education sector generates a huge amount of data which can be collected and analyzed to provide better services. Now, based on students' learning history and pattern, a customized and dynamic learning course can be designed, which will go a long way in increasing the students' interest in the subject. Then, if necessary, the course can be reframed dynamically to adapt to the students' learning behavior and preferences. A good and dynamic course coupled with a scientific grading system can help in understanding the student's strength, weaknesses and inclination and can therefore provide an effective career prediction and guidance. Now, let us have a look at some of the ways in which the aviation industry uses big data. The emphasis is on the words "some of the ways" because the scope of using big data in an industry like aviation is limitless. Which is why we say that as far as aviation is concerned, sky is the limit for big data. No pun intended. Just to give you an idea, you'll be shocked by the amount of data that an airline has of you even before you or as you board your flight. Your name, your age, gender, your meal preferences, your credit card number, your duty-free shopping pattern. Remember, when you purchase something at duty-free shop, you're required to show your boarding pass, the data of which is captured by the duty-free shop. Your baggage detail, your online shopping habits and patterns, car rentals, etc. Have you ever stopped and wondered that there is someone somewhere who's collecting all this data and analyzing this to predict your spending and traveling pattern and in effect is profiling you? Now, having collected so much information, what do they do with it? Well, simple. They know your spending pattern or age profile so that they can lure you with attractive offers on online shopping for products which they think will be interesting to you. They can offer travel deals on sectors that you travel or prefer to travel. The credit card companies can offer or promote deals which could be of interest to you, etc. But then this is just the customer part of big data. There is more to it for the airlines. There are other data being generated, for example, pilots' communication with ATC, which could be used for improving safety. There are sensors in fuel tanks which are constantly transmitting data about fuel consumption. This could be studied to analyze fuel consumption pattern and improve efficiency. In-flight metrics, mechanical analysis are constantly providing data about the performance of various key parts in an aircraft. This can be studied and analyzed to plan maintenance. Consumer flight and travel pattern data is collected and analyzed to come up with loyalty programs. Like I said, the sky is the limit. Further, the cameras or the scanners which are situated right at the entrance where the passenger has to scan his ticket or his boarding pass before he enters the airport is constantly studied and analyzed to collect information about the pattern of passenger inflow. This will give them an idea of the density of passenger flow and for which airlines the passenger flow is taking place. This would help them to set up additional counters for check-in for a particular airline if they realize that the passenger flow for a particular airline is pretty high at that point in time. Now these are real-time data which are being analyzed. So we can see that there are huge applications for big data in the aviation industry. The other important sector which in the recent past has emerged as one of the biggest users of big data is media and entertainment sector. Data from various sources are collected for predicting the interest and preferences of audience, optimizing or scheduling of on-demand media streams, studying the customer reviews and effective targeting of advertisements. You will often notice that the ads which are displayed to you are quite different from the ads which are displayed to your friends or parents, even though they are browsing the same site. This is because of data being collected regarding the browsing history or patterns of the user and analyzing them. To give you an example, have you ever wondered how Spotify is able to recommend songs or genre that you are most likely to be interested in? Well, simple, big data. Spotify uses big data analytics to collect the data about your listening patterns and come up with a recommended song or a playlist. Big data has also been finding increased usage in weather forecasts and predictions. There are weather sensors and satellites that are deployed all around the globe and which are continuously feeding data into satellites for onward transmission. These data are collected and analyzed to forecast weather or natural calamities. Another sector which has been using big data analytics in a big way is transportation and logistics. Data is collected from various sources like signal feeds, traffic cameras, road sensors to analyze various things like traffic pattern, density of flow of traffic, traffic congestions, and to suggest alternative routes to avoid traffic holdups. All these of course result in huge savings in terms of fuel consumption and man hours. One of the classical example of use of big data is by Google Maps. It collects data from thousands of users to show the traffic flow pattern on the map and to suggest alternative routes and also to identify bottlenecks in the traffic. So whether you realize it or not, big data is already playing a huge role in how you lead your life, whether it is influencing your spending pattern, your media viewing pattern, or your traveling pattern, etc. In fact, it would not be wrong to say that big data is playing a pivotal role in almost all these spheres of your life. Well, is this good or bad? Now that's a debatable issue because there are issues of privacy, free will, and choice at play here. It is rumored that Amazon's Alexa, which is a smart device and also uses big data, and this big data I'm sure is a part of its machine learning process, keeps hearing you all the time, although this has been denied by Amazon. And although they are supposed to start listening only after the use of the wake up word, there have been instances where the instrument has gone rogue. Whether it has gone or not, like I said, is a debatable issue, but then we would have to deal with it, the possibility of privacy invasion. That being said, big data is going to change, or rather has changed our life in one form or the other. So what is the future going to be like? Machine learning and artificial intelligence are going to be the way forward, and both these require the use of big data. We are all familiar with posts like CEO, CFO, CTO. Now there is going to be a new demand for a post called Chief Data Officer, and data scientists will be in huge demand. My gut feel is that businesses are more likely to buy algorithms instead of software. And very soon we will realize that more important than quantity of data, it will be more important to have qualitative or actionable data. Overall, the next few years look exciting, and it will be interesting to see how the whole data business pans out. If you have any queries, or if you would want me to create any content for any particular concept in finance, please do mention it in the comment section and I'll try my best to do it as soon as possible. If you like this video, please do share it, and do not forget to hit the subscribe button or smash the bell icon so that you do not miss out on any of my posts. Ciao and take care.